Welcome back to the channel, you guys. This is your girl, Wicked Raider. I wanted to come back at you with actually a follow-up to my previous video. We were looking at Doom Tower for beginners. And so I was kind of talking about building champions out, especially rare champions for secret rooms. And the fact that Secret Room 1 was one of the absolute hardest secret rooms I've run into so far. Now, on my other account, I've had the chance to, I went back and checked. I've been able to make it up to level 51 in normal mode. And for you guys who started Doom Tower, if you know, you know. Number one, the auto climb was really, really helpful. There were a lot of times when sitting here and clicking one level at a time was just not doing it. But don't get discouraged if you are not able to complete your secret rooms. It's okay. Yes, you want the fragments because that will be great. But I went in, worked on a little champion here and there, and it didn't matter. I don't have access to the champions that I use the most. And so my team was defeated. I didn't stop. I kept going. I defeated level 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, here's the difference. You're going to notice in the secret room, guys, these champions are at 145. Absolute hits smack 145. But if I look at level 6, for example, the 6th floor, they're at 140. This level gave me no issues. And I mean, these are champions not to be slept on. You have your Alton. I say Alton, one of those. I haven't ran into this guy. Is it Santa? Interesting. Haven't looked at that kit. But Tundra is leading in the front. Oh, my big boy. It takes up the whole little screen. So Bergam Car is another one. And then Pestilence, which I actually have this champion on another account. So you're not running up against lightweights by any means. You come to level 7, they're still 140. Different champions. The one thing I like about Doom Tower is you finally have a chance to see those champions that are only, on other people's accounts. It took me 46 turns. So not a problem there either. I didn't even check the last one. 64 turns here. So really, really working it. And you can see the champions that I'm going in with. Now I did have to replace my boy because he is not currently doing very much for me, but I'm still getting used to him. And, Rafa Kyle, we're going to work that out. Level 8, 96 turns. They went up to 150. This is kind of the equivalent of where Secret Room 1 is. Think about my team structure. Compared to the rares that I have available to me, team power here is 83K. If I go back to the Secret Room with the team I put together, I believe we had Reliquary Tender, we had my boy in there. We had Rotting Mage, Elhain, and I think maybe Diabolus, 37K. Even if we take her out and replace, 38K. The difference is huge, and it's all because I have not built out my rare champions appropriately. Even here, 38K. So there's a huge difference in your team builds. Now, when you come to your first dungeon area with Dreadhorn, I'm going to try to run this one. Sometimes I beat him on the first time out. Sometimes I don't. Just kind of depends on who I end up putting on the team. If you look at your boss guide, though, when you're running through, guys, don't forget about these side buttons. Boss guide and best teams. Now, best teams can be a little intimidating because, of course, there are a lot of people running teams that are pretty impressive at this level. You can see most of my legendaries are still only 5-star. Like, we are hanging out in the mode, and I'm still learning these guys as well. But going in here, I would normally start with an attempt to go with speed, maybe, and see if that's going to help. But I think I'm going to keep my same team kind of intact. I love my Deliana. Even to this day, that is my go-to girl. Let's put my boy in, see if he does anything. Miscreated Monster is always a good one. Oh, I am torn. Let's do a little control here and see if we can throw a little bit of damage. So we're going to go in with this team first. I'm tempted, y'all. I'm tempted. I don't know. We'll see how that one works. Now, with Doom Tower, every time I go in, I'm going to look at the amount of damage that is being done, which champion is able to get out first as far as speed without any rearrangement. I definitely know I want a 6-star. My Tundra haven't gotten there. I'm kind of on the fence back and forth with Rhonda. I know that a lot of creators will tell you Rhonda doesn't require books, which I firmly, firmly believe that. Um, a lot of people don't master her either. And that's something else that I've noticed as well. So I've been torn as to how much to really put into her. I like her as a 5-star champion. I like the speed that I have on her. There are 1 or 2 pieces of gear that I would love to add to her kit. And a couple of kits I may run her in just to see how she does. But even looking at this team currently and how they're going through these levels, the smoothness, we're 39 turns in, and it's so different from those rare battles. Don't be shocked if your rare battle is 100 plus turns, especially in the very beginning. Eventually, guys, you'll be able to run the floors of Doom Tower without issue. It'll actually come more down to availability of keys than anything else for you. So that makes a difference for you. But here it's more so composition. I use Doom Tower again for composition across the board. I would love to eventually get a reviver um, involved on this particular account. On my main accounts, I still run Dur the Hungerer, hands down. My girl is going to be there at all times, and it's really helpful. It took me a while to look on the side and realize these pots. I'm like, what's up with the pots? So defeated, we are, I didn't even see the number of turns in, but 1 minute, 38 seconds. I'm going to come down here. And Gorgorab is one of those, I like my guy. The defense that he offers is nice, but I need to increase attack. So I'm going to start with him. Rhonda is right behind him because I'm not getting as much out of her as possible. But I'm going to change my lead guy first and see how that works. The one thing I do appreciate with Doom Tower is the flexibility. You're not going to lose any keys. You're not losing anything. So it makes it a lot easier for you to come in and make things happen. I'm going to keep the rest of the team the same, I guess. And I'm going to go in with him. Let's see how my boy does. Let's just give him a try. I'm not sure. Kind of half and half. I've been playing with a couple of teams, and I always know that this first dungeon I run several times. Now, beyond this one, guys, once you make it past this one, the next probably 20, 25 levels, not that bad. You can likely run the exact same team that beats this dungeon all the way through. And I think I've ran this team probably 30 levels beyond this one and didn't change until the very end. It's when I got to Fate that it really, really slowed me down, just progress wise. And so that's where I've been stuck at that particular dungeon for quite a while. Now, the first wave didn't give us huge issues. It would be nice on my pay to play. I can tell you one huge difference. Ooh, that got rough. So we're not going to quite make this one. On my pay to play account, I use Madam Saris in this area. You need a cleanser. So we're going to go back in and find a champion that is able to cleanse, and we can hopefully keep them alive. The other issue that I run into, because if I'm not entering round 3 with at least 4 champions, it's not going to be a good turn for me. The other thing that you're going to notice is without a cleanser or reviver, your team is going to fall off pretty quickly. And that's what happens with this guy on a regular basis. His bombs are no joke. I have had moments where I put champions in either retaliation gear or poor little Drake. Drake did 9,000, y'all. He's got to come out. Trunda is probably going to come out. I can probably replace everybody on this back end. And since they don't auto reload them, it allows you to kind of reset in your mind from the very beginning. I'm going to add in Ultimate Death Knight. I don't actually use him in this area very often. Come in with your boy, and then we're going to come with Reliquary Tender. And let's see if we can keep her alive and also get this done. I've probably ran this with a couple of team compositions. The oddest ones are usually the ones that are most successful. If you have Ornn, for example, I absolutely love that champion. I don't have him on my newest free to play. I haven't pulled him, but on my pay to play, I was actually able to acquire that champion through the fusion event, through the fragment event, and it was amazing. So there are going to be some game changers there. It's about progression. Eventually, you will put together a team that will allow you the flexibility and the space you need to get in and to move through these waves. There are going to be a few dungeons you're going to notice that the first and second wave is actually harder than the boss themselves. And those are the ones that kind of appreciate. You get to the end, your team is on its last little leg, and you've got to get in there. We are 42 turns in. I want to see if we're going to be able to do this. And I'm most worried about Reliquary Tender. I know if we can keep her alive, that'll be helpful. My Ultimate Death Knight is definitely going to go down during this round. He's down. Fanatic is going to go. Is that Fanatic or Finchy? Oh, back up with this 30%. Maybe if we can make it pass, boom, we can get it together. She may have enough time. I have 6-star my Ultimate Death Knight on my other accounts. I haven't quite done that here. That will also make a huge difference when I'm able to go in and 6-star a few more champions. That 6-star does make a difference, and it took both of them out. It's the bombs with him that take you out the most. He was the first boss that I ran against with bombs, so I wasn't sure how to play this one out. So if you look here, her support is second to none. Like, she is right behind Miscreated Monster. So that I like. Then she is not going to be my best fit. I need another damage dealer here. And I like the defense that he's giving, but I think if I get a little bit more push there, we can probably make this happen. And this is kind of the steps that you're going to go through each and every time that you're building that team. I think I'm going to put her back in and then go with my boy. There are times when you may run this dungeon 5 to 10 times, and that's okay. So once you progress through it, you have a month in order to get as far as you can and to restart and, choose a different direction. But your champion synergy is going to be the leading force. That was a lot quicker. 13 rounds is what we used. 13 turns is what we used in that first round. If we can make it out of the second round with everyone intact, would be really nice. But Ultimate Death Knight is definitely getting hit hard right now. Reliquary Tender is down. This is where Madame Stairs really comes in handy. We took out a champion that was giving a little bit more defense, but I'm hoping maybe Flash can hold on to it. This will be a good combo, but they won't survive likely against those bombs. If you have Roscar at the tower, extremely helpful with this level. Dare the Hungerer will be a good one. Madame Ceres, as I mentioned before, will be a really good one. All the champions I'm thinking of that I don't have on this particular account. Yeah, this won't be the combination for us either. There's going to be a need for continuous support. So the name of the game here is I'm trying to think or figure out how can I craft a support champion that can survive the entire time. Now, I have a couple of champions that I haven't quite found a niche for. Septimus is going to be one. I mean, attack-based champion. He is a legendary champion. He will reset the cooldown with the Holy Sword. He comes in, will ignore shield and block damage. And I don't know if he would be a good area in the mix. Let's run one more. I'm tempted to run you two together, to be honest. I would love to run. I just don't have another good support here. I'm pretty sure these two will end up dying, but I'm between Rhonda and Ultimate Death Knight, or adding in, let's add in Septimus. Let's add in, what's my little guy's name? I forgot. But that power level concerns me. That's a little bit more powerful there. And as you guys can see, power level doesn't always count. It doesn't always mean anything. I'm honestly tempted to do this instead to see how it goes. I've had a higher power level team that just could not make it through, dropped down, included a couple of rare champions, and glided through. The first time we went through in 13 turns. I don't know if we will get through this group that quickly. Looks like we will. All right, so we're still on key for that 13. Second round is where we kind of faltered or started faltering just a little bit. Having an AoE attack is one. I did have Dark Elhain, which I ended up getting rid of Dark Elhain on this account. Or I'm not sure if I pulled her on this account, but on one account, I've actually gotten rid of Dark Elhain. I didn't use her as much, to be honest. Wasn't a bad champion, just absolutely did not use her on that particular account at all, and was nervous to put any more resources into her. We're up to almost 40 turns at this point. We should make it through pretty well. If we can minimize the damage and make it, there we go. Oh, okay. So Dark Aethel came in at the very end with a nice little hit. It's mitigating the bombs here. The rain of bombs is the big one. The cleansing, the lack of cleansing. I thought about Magister is another one that I thought about would probably be helpful if he was fully mastered out as a rare champion. So just kind of finagling around there. I'll keep working at this one and eventually report back with the team that ultimately was able to make it through. Usually by the skin of your teeth, you're going to be making it through in the beginning, but Deliana is still holding it down. My biggest weaknesses are going to fall here. But hey, that's the life of Raid. If you made this far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Definitely don't mind showing growth on this channel. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. We are so close, only six more to go, and we'll hit our first milestone. So that'll be a big one for them. If you don't have a clan, Ultimate 22WK is going to be the spot for one of the best clans ever. We've been doing really good with CVC. I know that's been pushed back, and honestly, as a girl who loves CVC, I don't mind at all. My resources have been so depleted the last couple of weeks, but I want to keep pushing no matter what. Be sure to subscribe, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing in Doom Tower to make progress. And as always, happy gaming.